Our Tuesday tip of the week. Should you be asking what the customer wants? This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News, and we're going to be covering today one of the things that happens an awful lot is where, as a business, what I'm doing when I'm trying to figure out the future of my business, I spend time, asking the customers what they want, such as if I'm going to be doing, maybe, let's go, I'm a baker of cakes. I bake cakes. And what I would do is I would do a survey for my customers and say, hey, what cake do you think I should be making in 2016 as my featured cake? And then I would get feedback, and then I would build or bake that cake. That's a way of running a business. Now, today, what I want to talk about that is I think that's a horrible, horrible idea. And as you do some different research and such in the sales area and the development of companies and the development of your business area, really that is a weak method of running your operation. A lot of companies have gotten basically kind of average success because instead of being the one to really look at their clients and look at the type of people they work with and look at where they want to go with the people and create their own future and create that reality that people are going to like, it just doesn't fly because their customers are only able to base their opinions on what they've experienced either with you or with others or what they see in the world. So let's just look at cell phone world right now. You look at the world of Apple and such, they're kind of a leader in the cell phone world, even though in many ways their technology in their phones might be a little bit dated when you look at, maybe some of the Samsung different devices, what have you. But Apple has really been kind of innovative in what they do, and they're bringing some software technology to their phones and their different devices that you don't see other places. Apple's not out there asking the consumer, what would you like to see on your next iPhone? Let's think about this. If we had gone back to some of the early iPhones, and they said, hey, what would you like on an iPhone? We're going to develop an iPhone, and it's going to be this device. What would you like on it? Well, we don't have a point of reference, and we would be giving them advice, and we'd be basically describing a Nokia phone, and that's what we would have been stuck with if Apple worked that way. And you see that there's just not a really great way to do it. What Apple did is they went through and they had a vision, and they had a plan, and they had this inspiration where they're going to be able to go out and create something, and that something will become something that people will really kind of clamor to, or they will really kind of go towards. Whereas if they would have just asked their clients and asked current people out there who are using phones, they would have given them this. And they probably could have created that, maybe created a little bit better version and maybe had some company growth. But if you really want to innovate in this industry, in any business, especially in the DJ one, instead of going out there and copying what other people are doing and doing the same things, or maybe going and asking your current clients, what should I be doing for next year? What you need to be doing is really looking at the type of people you work with, understanding them, and then creating a reality in which they're going to really get excited about. Creating the type of things in your shows that people who are the loving relationship type people who want the group hug maybe will go kind of be drawn towards. Or if you're really into a techie crowd, maybe the kind of light show that this techie crowd doesn't even know exists or could happen at their shows, and you're able to design this light show that they've got to have, or maybe a photo booth system, whatever it is. But you are the ones who have to be creating that reality that people are going to really start to dig into, because if you don't, and if you're asking people to create that for you or to give you advice on creating it, you're going to be maybe having marginal success as opposed to having huge success because you define your future. If you've got a tip on how you find out and kind of really put together your future for your business, I'd love to hear it in the comments down below. Go down there and tell us, where do you go for inspiration? Now, a lot of us go outside the industry, and that's a fabulous idea. I'd love to hear, where do you go? Who do you use? I mean, obviously, I mentioned Apple in this video. There's many very progressive companies out there that you can design your business around, their kind of concepts. Share some of those in the comments down below, because the people who write those down there, they've got some really great ideas, and they see things that I don't see. So share that in the comments below. Would really appreciate it. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News with the Tuesday Tip of the Week. If you'd like to catch more of our Tuesday tips, we'll put a link right here so you can check these out. Every Tuesday we have a new tip for you, so you can just hit that link. That's the playlist, so you can check that out. If this is your first time seeing one of our Tuesday tips, we'd ask you to subscribe to our channel, the Disc Jockey News YouTube channel. We'll put that link, of course, up here too. So you can now hit that subscribe link and you can check that out, because this is some of the cool stuff that we do every week. This and gear, yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. But we want to again thank you for watching. This is John Young with the Disc Jockey News with a Tuesday Tip of the Week.
If I were you, I'd hit the subscribe button before I hit the video. But don't mess things up. Wanna know why? Because I'm